Hello, hello. Welcome everyone to the Friday special. Hi, I'm GB, also known as Cute Tankies, and welcome to the Friday special. Once again, we're back for some of the Devil, episode 2. Hi Ari, hope you're doing good. It's been 3 weeks since our last game of the Devil. I hope you're having fun while I was away, or it was AGDQ, there was RT in Japan in the meantime. I see some hi. Hope everyone is doing good. We're gonna be playing some of the Devil. I do have a couple of things to announce first. But obviously in general, I wish you all a wonderful 2026. Hope everything is gonna be great for everyone. And I can't wait to do a lot of speedrunning, some playing video games. There's a lot of good video games coming soon. I am very excited. I have a few games in mind that I want to either speedrun or play for you. But also some games that I just want to play for you that are going to be from old games. But everything will be fine. But yeah. Mostly one of the things that is very important is that if you're not aware, I'm gonna be at Frame Fatale's Frost Fatales 2026, running Yaz Rising with my beautiful partner Lucifer9783. Will be accompanied by wonderful commentators. You might know them as Aneurysms and Corey. If you've seen my Fate Samurai Remnant run, you know who they are. But they're amazing commentators, and I'm really excited to bring them over. Outside of that, not much. I will be also working on some other marathons. There's one marathon that is coming very soon, because it's kind of a sort of quick pop-up speedrunning event about maybe fighting some fascism, which I'm very excited. Even if I'm not picked or for either running or volunteering, I will still be raising the hell up for people to be interested in it. Outside of that, other marathons, other video games, we'll talk in due time. But yeah, very excited. Let's return to Off the Devil. We did get to basically kind of the start of the game. We covered the first part where Morgan kind of gets into a very how would you say dangerous situation with some thugs, and managed to get a no mask. Apparently, a mask capable of even breaking all kinds of security systems and like face recognition. But also, after meeting back with Sarah and another person, we've been accosted by the Mafia. Well, not really the Mafia. They do show themselves as charitable people. But yeah, basically, something's gonna happen. And I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen. Before we go into the game, I would like to do a quick reminder of this is the Friday special. I always do games with a little bit of heavy themes. So content warnings are appropriate here. Viewer discretion is advised, and here are the content warnings. Descriptions and stylized depictions of violence, murder, and implied psychological torture. If you do not want to watch those subjects, it is totally fine. Take care of yourselves, everyone. It's more important for you to take care of yourself than to watch something that could be very upsetting for you and trigger some emotional responses, some traumatic responses. Otherwise, if you're ready to stay, then let's go back into it. I've also mentioned that I'm playing Of the Devil on high roller mode. So there's gonna be lots of things happen. Boss? Who are those men, really? New clients for Morgan, really? Hopefully. Hopefully? Yeah, hopefully. Because if House Hikaria puts her on retainer, she'll be able to buy you as much wine as you like. Well, what do you mean by house? Alright, pay attention. If I'm gonna lecture, might as well try to teach. Start with ice. You want a lot of it, but low surface area, so never use crushed, okay? Plus to melt into the liquor, waters the whole thing down. Understood. 1.5 ounces of vodka. And what do we look for in a good vodka? Smoothness. Correct. It's the mark of quality, making the bitter go down easy. But the nobility, you know what that is? Historically, the ruling class is enforced through economic or military might and maintained by familial relations. Juice of a full lime. Look for a little spring and a consistent color across the skin. Ability. Old money is another word for it. And the older it is, the slower it moves. Only so much wealth you can accrue in one lifetime. Collecting from serfs and selling horses. But the Industrial Revolution comes along, shows the world that what real wealth acquisition looks like, then you get new money, which always dwarfs old money. Inflation and split inheritances shave away at any generational wealth that's liquid. Now, new money and old money, they don't like each other. Doesn't new money eventually become old money? If the old money can help it, no one ever becomes old money. Triple sec, 1 ounce. My family was new money. Tried to make the transition. Join the right clubs, shake the right hands, make the right marriages. Laugh at the bad jokes. Bad jokes can be entertaining in their own right. Not the kind of bad I'm talking about. I don't understand. That's alright. You shouldn't need to know. He means the racist ones, or the homophobic ones, or basically anything that is not white supremacy. But what do you mean your family was new money? Times changed. About 30 years ago, recession, depression, civil unrest, political upheaval. Most people, they were so scared they could barely think about tomorrow, let alone next year. Don't talk to me about the current state of the world. But a decent man's chaos is a cruel man's investment opportunity. So while everyone was panic selling off everything they could buy to buy food and water, a certain type of personality was buying, or pennies on the dollar, as it were. Give me a peel from that line, as shallow as possible. Any what you see is just better. 1 ounce of gin. They were rough years, but it passed. And at the end of it all, some were left standing with a lot more than they came in with. New money? A new kind of money. The new nobility. Neobility, if you're writing a think piece. Unabashed oligarchs and devourer barons. When the governments of the world tried to re-privatize the industries they had taken over with emergency powers, they were there to snatch them. And they started at the bottom. Steel, fuel, grain, machine parts, medicine. Here enters the House Sicaria. Well, that's how they exited. They went into the Red Decade as the Icaria cartel, drug smugglers and extortionists, thieves and murderers. They came out as one of the richest, most respectable names in the country. Not that they actually stopped doing any of that thieving and murdering, mind you. Put a top on tight, then shake. So they are a crime family? Like the mob? This is the 21st century, kid. It's muddier than that. Oh, Sicaria is not literally one family, not even one race or one creed. They're simply the strongest criminal organization in the city, on paper. But not in practice? Practice is what they're lacking. Haven't had to get their hands dirty, haven't had to maintain a presence in the lower wards for years. They make the profits from investments, blackmail, and more than a little insider trading. So they're criminal, yes. But their muscles a trophy. Time for a taste test. That's not right at all. The hell did I forget? Boss? There must have been other criminal organizations 30 years ago. Other poised to take advantage of the changing times. Yeah. What did the Icaria do to set themselves apart from the rest back then? Super most important ingredient. Blood. Drop of grenadine. The Lady Maria. It's beautiful. This is nothing. We'd use a frosted glass if this was for a customer. Looks like a ruby in the right lighting. You do end up helping Red work with the Icaria. Don't let the warmth of their golden furnishings confuse you. All that glitters is cold. And also one generic and one white mana. Sorry about the water drink. It was a quiet and uneventful drive back of the limousine. The privacy, at least, was nice. But with Abbott and Costello riding in front, I had no way of getting information out of them, not even passively. So instead I spent the whole ride trying to play out all the different ways that this could go. I haven't liked any of them so far. I suppose I should have felt relief with gratitude when we pulled up outside of an imposing skyscraper instead of an alley. I suppose it's a good sign that no one's ever put a bag over my head or stuck a needle in my neck. But I don't feel like celebrating. For all I know, they really don't have a clue about what I did in the lower wards last night. But for some reason, they placed the attention on me. And there's little I hate more than unwanted advances. I'm also not a fan of being made to wait. Why am I just sitting out there? In here? We were too late. Only by a few he filled the time slot. Already? And we got no chance of... Maybe if his other meeting went well. Are we on hold, gentlemen? In the world of the most expensive waiting room? Quiet. I think he's glaring at me behind those lenses, but I'm more interested in the sweat glistening on his forehead. Somehow, of the three of us, I'm the most relaxed. This is becoming embarrassing. Can I at least take in the view while we're here? You can take photos if you like, so long as you're quiet. Really? No, your phone won't work in here. Go figure. Time for a little bit of looking around. Whoa. Big sky. The illusion isn't unimpressive, I guess. Windows into the heavens, sparkling like raindrops across a puddle. It might even be appealing if it wasn't trying to be something it's not. You look up and see hexagons above you in the lower wards too. Rich or poor, people can just imagine themselves under an open sky anymore. Not even in their wildest dream. Go Fish? Go Fish 2026, announced here at Of the Devil? No, I'm kidding. If I weren't hyper aware of the flickering sky hanging over my head, this could make for a lovely watering hole. But those probably aren't even real fish down there. Literal children are capable of keeping goldfish alive, so of course the 0.1%ers can't manage it. Maybe they'd spin it. When the pallid bodies float to the top because some idiot raised the water temperatures 2 degrees, that'd suddenly be easy to scoop out. If you're an impatient, undignified idiot, you could argue that it is an efficient way to fish. Oh. Is it trying too hard to look unconcerned if I sit down and start reading the news? Maybe. My boredom outweighs my apprehension at the moment. Not my fault that they failed to be sufficiently intimidating. PS says, Proposition City ahead of next month's convention. Next month, the city will play host to one of the most competitive political conventions in recent memory, with Senator Maffings expected to face significant opposition from party outliers before securing his nomination. But while the broader nation eagerly anticipates the oncoming political circus, city officials are already under fire for a supposed lack of sufficient convention security. The city has already approved a record-high monthly budget for the police department, including fully unrestricted overtime for officers of all rank. But a coalition of private security services including White Adder, Fang, and Demico has released a press statement urging City Council to consider contracting their services ahead of the convention. Outbreak was bad enough. Now we're hearing that cops are dying in the lower wards. When are city officials going to say enough is enough, said Demiko, head of press relations, Arthur Goal. We have the utmost respect for all first responders. None of us are blaming the hardworking police for these failures. How could they succeed when political insiders insist that they try to apprehend criminals with one hand tied behind their back? Good question. Our contracted forces have world-class training in crowd pacification, preemptive de-escalation, and enhanced interrogation tactics. And any of the subhuman scum who empathize with anarchists won't dare to leave their modest basements once we get to our boots on the ground. That's a guarantee. City Council declined to comment when we reached out to them to ask whether they would be issuing a request for proposals on such services. The total city population is expected to swell next month as the national political spotlight draws lobbyists, delegates, political action committees, and voters in ahead of the 2-week-long process. Most of the community members we spoke to expressed optimism about the increase in economic activity and tourism the convention is expected to bring. But some, who refused to give us their permission to publish their identifying info, rudely and loudly voiced their criticisms. 2 weeks for a convention when the nominee was decided 2 years ago? It's a joke, and we're the punchline. Putting the bill to pay cops to stand around outside parties full of thousands of do-nothing staffers and campaign managers. This article is presented to you advertiser-free thanks to the contributions of our generous donors, including Daniel Mass of the Daniel Mass Foundation, Rebecca E. Jones of the Rebecca E. Jones Foundation, Jessica and Ronald McGuile of the McGuile Foundations for the Arts and Sciences, the Rockford Fund for Public Broadcasting, and readers like you. Thank you. Please sign in to read the rest. No. I suppose it's less offensive than a bare advertisement or paywall, but why list your donors mid-article? All it does is makes my eyes glaze over. Whatever, I got the most important part. The city's hosting a convention next month, putting on the pressure on the council to vote on hiring mercenaries. Whether not to bring in private security contractors on top of the massive policing budget. It makes little difference to me. Cops and mercs have different quirks, but they all share the same blind spots. I'll do just fine. How the average law-abiding citizen will put up with them clogging the streets for 2 weeks, though. Unlike it'll be the least popular political decision made next month. Everyone knows Mayfangs will be the candidate. That was decided years ago. Contested convention will just be him finding a balance between how much public opposition he's willing to stomach, against how many favors he feels like giving out. This country is already a circus without any bread. I think the least they could do is make the performances entertaining. What was that in the article about cops staying in the lower wards anyway? Pretty heavy-handed to make up that kind of thing, even when pearl clutching and pitching yourself at the same time. Well, I've looked around at everything that caught my eye, and now I'm all out of ideas. Everything except... maybe they don't know we're here. I'm gonna try knocking. What are you? Hey! Before I get a chance, Creaking Oak draws my attention to an alternate entrance on the other side of the water. Ooh, he seems important. Stop staring and get a move on. That's the kind of man walking out of this place. Who's waiting for me inside? Good question. Residential floors? Okay. Grand Hall. Ooh. Pomp and circumstance, ceremony and ritual. For some reason I thought that the Mafia, of all people, would be a little more efficient in their execution. A little more honest about what they are. Evidently not. Artifice with every glance, costumes and makeup abound. Is this disappointment? That even here, in the supposed bowels of the underworld, there's no escaping the etiquette of it all? She's the one? Doesn't look like much. Peons. Suddenly, the posture stiffens even further. A true feat. The next suddenly turn to a pair of doors in the back, each of them attuned to some signal I'm not receiving. Be still. The young master returns. Okay. You're late. Hold on, wait. Young master, sir, everyone slow down. We come as soon as we found her, sir. Traffic was... This is just a sassy lost child. Oh no, I know that reference. I know that reference to the sassy old child. Silence. Yes, sir. What time were you told to return by? 4 o'clock, sir. And what time is it now? Permission to check my phone. You're late. You were tasked with finding one woman and bringing her here in a timely manner. Sir, you'll speak when I tell you to, and not one word further, or else I'll have your teeth removed. By way of curbside. Is this a prank? Am I being recorded? He who wishes to fight must first count the cost. So says Sun Tzu. Please let this be a prank. I don't think you can fathom the cost of your tardiness as incurred. The lead up to my execution is some kid reading from Art of War. I might just... What is the #1 rule in this family? Timeliness, sir! When money gets wasted, it can be replaced. But time only goes one way. It's always running out. The loss is permanent. Every second wasted is a scar on this house's face. Timeliness is next to godliness. So say I. Oh god. So if you two ever waste my time, the house's time, again, expect to be dragged through hell. I'm already there. Now both of you get out. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Useless. You. Red woman. You're being addressed. Forget pride. I just want this over with as fast as possible. You're the lawyer, correct? You may answer. As fast as possible. I am a lawyer. Morgan, criminal defense, Mr... How should I address you? As all outsiders do, by my name. Makoto, of House Hikaria. You, Morgan, criminal defense. That's not my name. I have the great honor of being summoned before me. Don't bother bowing. Once you start, you'll end up prostrated all day, and we have important work to do. Right, out of an abundance of respect for your time, Makoto, I should let you know that I still have no idea what I'm doing here. Oh. I'll have them kneel in a bed of nails later or some such thing. Mrs. Dufans. Mrs. Really? The house has need of your legal services. Oh. Would you give me a moment to clear my throat? I need to switch gears. Un instant. Right then, so you want to hire me. One of our own is being slandered by multiple homicide charges. You will defend him. You want to hire me, and I'm flattered, Makoto, but did you pull my name out of a hat? Pick a random page in the phone book. I have many books on my phone, libraries full of esoteric knowledge spread across the countless tomes. We'll have to be more specific. Sorry, I misspoke. What I mean is, this is House Hikaria. You must keep a small army of lawyers on retainer. Surely any one of them would be happy to help you. True, we have lawyers. Competent ones, expensive ones, and some who are both. But the best of them are all preoccupied. That's it, they're all just preoccupied. Preoccupied means busy. Thanks. But I'm still not sure how my name specifically was. You have a customer survey and you want filled out, Mrs. Dufence. You were recommended. What does it matter how it came about? Normally, it wouldn't matter. But when the client I'm recommended to is one of the richest, most well-connected families in the country, it gives me pause. I don't have any friends in high places. Not anymore. 07 David. That makes it hard to see this as a favor. Not when my employer doesn't even know my goddamn name. Of course, my apologies. No doubt you have other questions. Very well, I permit you to ask them. Such a gentleman. Damn, we have a lot of things to go for. Let's go with House Icaria. If I wasn't brought here because of what happened last night, then this is just another job. Meaning all of this starting back at the bar. This has just all been their idea of a power move. Thank you for insisting that I get to visit your estate in person. It's beautiful here. An oasis of old world sensibility amidst a desert of steel and neon eyesores, is what the house elders say. I never seen anything like it. It matches your family's reputation for class. My family's reputation is power, not class. I'd take it as a step further and guess you're renowned for violence rather than power. But that's a moot point. Violence can be classy. And from how this house is talked about in the headlines, I'll read on the drive over. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a tech issue here. No. Come on. I'll be right there. The nature of your family's reputation seems to vary greatly depending on who you ask. Some think you have half the gangs in the city under your control. Others think you've left all that behind and are no worse than any other corporate family. Are you expecting me to ask you what you think? What I think is I'll need some basic information if I'm to adequately defend your interests. We're financiers. You don't say. Lending, investing, taking over, buying out. The Icaria Financial Group was founded nearly 2 centuries ago. Loaning funds is high risk and high reward, but as you can see, our results speak for themselves. Let's look at Icaria because neo-nobility was already talked about before. Also, hi, Morgan Nico Morgan. The Icaria Financial Group is a private investment company and one of the nation's most exclusive asset managers as of 2086. We believe that investing should be accessible to anyone and that's best accomplished by tailoring their investment portfolio to suit the specific needs. Interested in working with us? Let's get started on your profile below so we can determine your options. Remember, even if you don't unfortunately aren't a good fit for IFG itself, we'll always be happy to set you with one or more of your partners that are better suited for your class. We got the convention. Also, who is Makoto Icaria? February 27th. Height 146 centimeters. Weight such impudence. Blood type A-. Occupation heir apparent unemployed. Student. Likes biographies Shogi Ember. Dislikes tardiness, tarnish, group assignments. Favorite figures Saladin, Sun Tzu, Hannibal. Okay. I'm not sure about the Hannibal one. Favorite phrase, Vae Victis, woe to the conquered. Relaxes by building, painting models. Aww! They play Gundam! I wanna bully them. Icaria Financial Group, fancy way of saying they got it there started mobster loan sharks. It's not impossible to get this rich with loan sharking alone. But such unsavory work wouldn't get them into the ballrooms and boardrooms tiers of society. You gotta rip people off with mortgages to do that. Is lending the house's only income stream? No. Through Aurea, our holding company, the house controls any number of what a civilian like you might call legitimate enterprises. And yes, we did found Renogen Pharmaceutical Corporation, but what's past is prologue. Renogen? They're a drug company, one of the biggest. You're saying you've no relation to Renogen presently? The company went public years ago, and Aurea divested our shares not long after. We were given one seat on the board as a formality. That's the extent of it. Given? A family like this only takes. Why is he suddenly so humble? He doesn't know the meaning of the word, if he's downplaying their pull with Renogen. Then the house must have a reason to want to distance themselves from the company. Regen is a global leader in pharmaceutical research, development, and distribution. A company that puts your health before any other concern. Our groundbreaking research into combating modern medical challenges has helped millions live happy, healthy lives, and we're proud to keep fighting that fight as we pursue our corporate goals. Put our medicine in the cabinet of every home, improve patients' lives and their communities, minimize our environmental footprint through sustainable ventures, operate with dignity and pride in our ethics, deliver consistent, steady growth to our investors. Shortly after our founding, our researchers developed metformin, the first orally ingested treatment for type 2 non-normal diabetes, freeing millions of adolescents suffering from its effects from being subjected to painful injections. Since then, we've gone on to improve on our formulation, and that constant dedication to perfecting our medicines has made us a national leader in pharmaceutical biosimilars. We're obsessed with perfection and driven by purpose. We'll never stop searching for the next step in the evolution of what it means to be healthy. Cool. You're being very modest, Makoto, and more than a little vague. It's only polite. It's unnecessary talking to your lawyer. You aren't my lawyer, Mr. Defense, but you will be working for me. You'll have to become accustomed to putting your needs second. He's deflecting, and if he's trying to be subtle about it, he's not doing it well. I doubt it's possible a company with as big as a boot heel as Rengen has no relation to anything that happens in this city, but I'll drop it for now. I'm in no rush to wade into boardroom politics again anytime soon. Yeah, let's not talk about how episode 1 ended. I'd like to know a little bit more about you, actually. How long have you... I am the only son of Raphael Ikaria and the only grandson of Daisuke Ikaria, CEO of the Ikaria Financial Group, patriarch of this family, and chairman of the house. No, I have patriarch of the Ikaria family in the fucking... It appears! It's... Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. I'm having too much fun. I know I have it. I know I have that font. Where is it? I so want to do it, but I don't see where I put it back. But it was an S. No, not this one. Is it? No, that's not this one. It's the one from Yakuza, and I'm having the freaking Yakuza bullshit in my brain. There it is! There it is, I found it! Give me a second. I have it. Alignment center. There it is. There it is. Why am I given this power? I want to punch that twink now. Anyway, enough jokes. I gather that those titles are all one and the same. As one destined to succeed the headship, commanding the family servants is my responsibility and my birthright. So if one of them needs a lawyer, it falls to you. When our loyal men, women, or their families need help, it is my solemn duty to ensure that they are taken care of. Okay, very Yakuza type. And your age? What a boorish question. I knew that peasants raised outside of Stratus had little understanding of the finer things, but I assumed that one with a law degree would be educated enough to know what is and isn't appropriate to discuss. Just because I'm younger than some does not mean I am any less capable of managing the people who work for me. Does it, man? Sir, no sir! You definitely command their respect. That is no coincidence. One of the most frequently noted characteristics of great men who have remained great is loyalty to their subordinates. So says George S. Patton. That's so interesting. This is an important point. Perhaps another quote is called for. I don't think that's necessary. I'll grant you another. If soldiers are punished before they have grown attached to you, they will not prove submissive. And unless submissive, then will be practically useless. Thus says Sun Tzu. Back to back. Yes, a second quotation was called for in this instance. Only to emphasize to you that no one stays useless to House Sikaria for very long. One way or another. I'll admit I was a little taken aback to step off an elevator into your enclosure out there. The gardens? Yes, our groundskeepers work hard on them. Does the illusion of the sky come from a live recording of somewhere else? Or is it generated programmatically and could take quite the equation? It is impressive, yes. As for how it works, I don't have the technical minutiae in front of me at the moment. That's okay. Of course it is. A lion does not concern himself with the exterior decorations of the sheep. It's your exterior and your decorations. What does it matter anyway? If you want the specifics so badly, I'll have one of the servants put you in contact with a contracting firm. That's alright. Something tells me the consultation alone would break my bank account. What about the black suits? I do appreciate the warm welcome, Makoto of House Sikaria, really. But legal consultations are usually more private than this. Are we certain we need a peanut gallery? Let it not be said that House Sikaria is not accommodating of its guests. We're more than capable of compensating for this. Notology you allude to. That's so sweet of you. But do all these guards really need to be present for this conversation? If you're referring to the additional security, it can't be helped, circumstances being what they are. Circumstances? And if you're referring to my retainers in general, then I suggest you step back into the garden and take a deep breath. Clearly, the city's fumes do not agree with your constitution. You must be lightheaded if you think that you're worthy to hold a one-on-one audience with the next head of this illustrious house. He's a prodigy to be this insufferable at such a young age. Thank you for indulging my curiosity so graciously, Makoto. Conquer distingue you for generosity. So says Buddha. Correct. Perhaps your education is not quite as deficient as I feared. But I should make clear that in this case I was using the quote to subtly imply that you're stingy with your own graciousness. Got it. Yep. Shall we move on? I believe you mentioned a homicide. Multiple homicides. Tell me more. My head of security was arrested by the police last night in the lower wards. They found him brutally beaten, drugged, and tortured. And instead of bringing him straight to a hospital, they arrested him for murder! He's been framed, and you must prove his innocence. Well, that's easy! Episode 0, anyone? Understand. Is there something wrong with your voice? Is this that peanut allergy you mentioned? No, I just lost my train of thought for a second there. I'm not used to my luck changing this fast. One of the richest families in the city wants to pay me to prove a man's innocent of a crime I framed him for? Right then, might I ask why he was found in the lower wards? I get the impression that the Ikaria territory is generally positioned more vertically. This whole city is our territory, but it's true that our presence is felt more strongly in some areas than others. They captured him early yesterday. He was ambushed by cowards and dragged down to that stain of a neighborhood to be tortured senselessly. But, well, he was tortured. I can attest to that much. But I don't believe in senseless violence. There's always a purpose, and it's usually staring you in the face. People just don't like making eye contact. Do you have any idea why he was taken, or by whom? It was the Blue Bloods that made no effort to hide it. No worthy opponent, I might call that commendable, but knowing them, they're just too stupid to value deniability. I'm sure. And I'm sure there's no love lost between your groups, but kidnapping and torturing is beyond the pale, I agree. And the police are even worse. I expected no help for those incompetent fools, but these charges they're making, they're utterly ridiculous. Of course they are, but don't worry, confident. Think that they won't pin 5 murders on him. Wait, 5? That's not the same murders. 5? Did you say 5? Yes, 5! It's absurd. I can only take credit for full bodies. Acting so high and mighty, so affronted, so eager to blame us for the death of one of their officers. A dead cop? Is this what those mercs were advertising themselves with? What do you mean, one of their officers? Was there a UC or... No. They made a ridiculous claim that he killed some uniform while resisting arrest. As if a member of our house would fear prison. I should never dare to think I got lucky here. These circumstances sound very complex, Makoto, and the police take the death of one of their own very seriously. What makes you so certain of this man's innocence? Because this man's name is Sosuke Ikaria. The Hound. I've known him all my life. All 3 or 4 years of it. There's no individual more honorable, more devoted, more trustworthy. And not once I have ever known him to be violent, impulsive. He didn't do this. I know he didn't do this. But proving that is your job. About that, I haven't actually accepted the job yet, Makoto. But you will. If not for other reason than because we shall pay you more than you customarily receive for a contract. Considerably more. Not everything is a question of money. Yes, your meaning's taken. It needn't be silver and gold. You'll have no complaints with your compensations. The favor of House Hikaria can go a long way in this city. As can our wrath. I don't appreciate being threatened. I don't find it funny, even coming from a kid. However, the state thinks whoever killed those 4 Blue Bloods also killed a cop. I can't afford to sit this hand out. They'll go over every centimeter of that building. One wrong move, one hair out of place. If I lose here, I lose, period. But if I win, throwing an Ikaria-sized wallet in the pot beforehand is all upside. I understand, Makoto of House Ikaria. I'll take Sosuke's case. You say that as if it were ever in doubt. A true prodigy. But he might be right. Maybe it never was. I chose to put that gun into this Sosuke's hands when I could have just plunged that knife into his temple. Maybe the line drawn from that moment to the razor edge I'm walking right now is perfectly straight. A line drawn from one point to another is always perfectly straight. A better metaphor would be a bullet's trajectory. For all the talk of wind resistance and breathing patterns into Coriolis effect and chaos theory, you can't exactly act surprised when your shot lands right where the crosshairs were pointing. Morgan's my last name, by the way, before you start writing any checks. You should have enunciated! Well, I guess that's gonna be our first start talk of the day. And you know what? Let's run our ads now. We will see you on the other side. Welcome back from the ads, everyone. Let's return to Of the Devil. We're now in transit. Hey there, boss. Of course I'm fine. What did you think was going to happen? Yeah, all good news. I got quite a paycheck coming my way. Maybe bad news for you if you get a large crowd tonight. Yeah, tell Sarah to meet me at the police station address and I'm about to send. I've got work for her to do. There will be quite a paycheck indeed waiting for me, assuming I can win. But can I afford to accept it? Ugh. Hey. Were any of those jokes around the office about your clients being connected to organized crime crew? Organized crime crew? What? Is this some kind of the honeypot? Trying to get a grasp on something. No, I know you're baiting me. What is he? That's what she said, layup. I'll still basket that shit, though I don't give up. Why do you make everything so hard? Come on. Like, come on, Freckles. A low-hanging fruit. I have no idea what you're talking about. Obviously. Why are you asking me about mafia shit, though? I'm working on a case for the Icaria, whom I assume you've heard of. Definitely. Under circumstances that are probably vulgar. Absolutely. Which you'd be happy to brag about to me. Anytime. But I'm not well positioned to turn down the job outright. So I'd like to know whether there would be resistance about parting ways afterwards. Why? You not like getting paid lots of money? I don't like being chained. Fair enough. Do you like just asking for my advice? Your loss is incredible. I'm going to attempt to parse that. I doubt you ever could. My generation's sense of humor is practically impregnable. God, I can't believe that she is from the fucking... This is gonna be me, basically, in the future. It was a very basic non sequitur, auntie. It just wasn't funny. Not even. Non sequitur would be... What's the charge? They're just getting back on topic. The charge is homicide. 5 counts. Meh. You're probably fine. All the stuff you hear about mobsters being clingy with their lawyers. It's because they don't want anyone who's been through their underwear drawers running around. Telling tales. Whatever poor they pin multiple homicides on. Is obviously not anyone important. I don't think he was framed. Not by his own people. Nah, pinned as in stuck with. Like a chore. Powerful people, mob or not. If they get lawyers, it's for tax evasion and conspiracy charges. Dirty work's left to the pawns. And the whole point of a pawn is... You don't have to think twice about trading them off. Alright. Guess I know the rumors are true then. Yep, you uncovered my cool secret. Listen, actors, singers, celebs. They all like expensive things and being the center of attention. Mobsters have money to burn and want the cologne of legitimacy. Everyone wants what they can't have. Okay, chill F. Scott Fitzgerald. Great looking Gatsby ass. I'm still playing for D, motherfucker. What? All I'm saying, there's mutually beneficial arrangements to be made. Between the rich and the famous. And the rich and the famous. You bet your ass I was in those rooms. Negotiating appearance fees. And taking my 30%. 30%? You really are shameless. That's what she said. Alright. Thanks as always for the sage counsel. Hey, if you're really feeling grateful, do me a solid and call your rents. They say they never hear from you. And I know you can't be that busy. If you're bored enough to talk to me, They're the ones who are busy. Hi, Victoria. Obviously, I wasn't sure what would happen after I left the crime scene. I wasn't sure what I'd find walking in here to speak to my client. I definitely wouldn't have the bet that the next time I saw this man alive, he'd actually look worse. Did you not hear me? I said I'm your lawyer. Oh, I heard you. I'm just not interested in wasting my breath responding. I'm sorry, is there a misunderstanding here? Not at all. I understand what exactly you are. You and all your companion is staring at me very intently. She has the shiny eyes! She's so excited! She's gonna do some law work! Sarah, blink. You're embarrassing me in front of the Yakuza. That's a very dated word. You really prefer I called you Norka? I'd prefer you give up and leave. What are you talking? I'm sure they told you I've been softened up. That they'd broken me and I'd be ready to sign whatever you put in front of me. She has the shiny eyes. She doesn't think to blink though, because she just has optical nerves. She has fake optical nerves, not real optical nerves. Sorry to disappoint you, but the Hound of Ikaria doesn't heal. Cool. Sosuke, I'm gonna repeat myself plainly. And slowly because you clearly have multiple head injuries. I am not a lawyer. I am your lawyer. Ah. Right, then, very good. Thank you for coming. Dude, this is why you need to listen. I apologize if I misspoke just now. I'd misspeak too if I lost as much as blood as you. Morgan, Esquire. I'll be representing you from here on out. Sosuke, of House Hikaria. Sarah, paralegal and bartender. You're very young to have 2 jobs. Or 10 bar. Well, it is only part-time. Right. So, tell us, Sosuke of House Hikaria, what is your routine? You look very fit. My... what? Are you asking about... Did you not have me on file? Wait, which firm are you from? DDD? MPM? I'm in private practice. You mean you're not... a mob lawyer? No, please don't hold it against me. Everyone has to start a path to corruption somewhere. There are serious risks involved in representing a man with my background against charges like these. It's very sweet of you to... They say I killed a cop, miss. I realize I may look a sorry state at the moment, but I've not fallen so low that I sullied the house's name by dragging a civilian into. Makoto fought differently. The young master? You've seen him? How is he? Where is he? Is he unharmed? He was sitting pretty atop a literal throne, surrounded by armed guards last time I checked. Thank you for that. No one's told me anything, and The young master has spoken on this matter. I want to go against his judgment. But I do hope you understand what you're getting into. I'm already in it, Sosuke. Oh, well, I understand what I'm in is something I think you'd be able to help with. Very well. What do you want to know? So far, all I know about you is your first and last name. It's a very important last name, but I take your meaning. And in truth, the first thing you should know is that I'm not worthy of it. Why? You disqualified due to pre-existing conditions? I was born Sosuke Hayakawa, 4th son of a distant branch family. The only reason I bear the name of Vicaria is because I was adopted into the main house as an infant, in exchange for lifelong service to the main family. Sounds like a great deal. Lifelong? How did you serve at the Ikaria as an infant? There are various tax benefits if you have exactly 2 children. Don't be absurd. I am what you would call a bodyguard. From the time I was able to walk, I was trained to be of service to the house by protecting the heir with my life. From the time you were able to walk, there are a lot of demand for toddler bodyguards. All that's ever been asked of me is that I stand in the right place at the right time. You mean like in family photographs? Like in front of a blade. Even a child can manage that. Yeah, no, I get you, Sarah. The house has given me everything I ever had and taught me everything I've ever known. One meager service I can offer in return means nothing compared to the debt I owe them. You view your relationship with your family as a transaction? It is not something so cold, girl. It's a matter of loyalty. Right. So if you were standing before a judge and they asked you your name and occupation, you would say, "My name is Sosuke Ikaria, and I'm an eternal servant for a living?" I would say, "My name is Sosuke Ikaria, and I work as a head of personal security for Ikaria Financial Group." August 23rd, height 92 centimeters, weight 97 kilograms, blood type AB-, occupation head of personal security, Ikaria Group. Likes whetstone, paperbacks, matcha, dislikes the opera, wasabi, and sex. Favorite author, Alexandre Dumas. Coffee, Cafe Americano. Default status, non-work related message will be blocked. One could almost say bewitching eyes, God. Not that, Lucifer. Not now. And what does that entail exactly? I'm the young master's bodyguard, and I lead his security teams. Nice to properly meet you. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. And I'm Sarah, paralegal and bartender part-time. She is so proud of herself. If she would be smiling here. Yes, I believe you already mentioned that. It seems like we're all doing it twice. Well, thank you for your paralegal services, Sarah. And here I had the impression you had no sense of humor. What do you mean? Violence today. Violence is up today. It seems in this instance, Adonai, it was you who misidentified his proper manners as being sarcastic. Like we're all broken the ice. Makoto told me that this all started because you were taken captive yesterday. What happened? It was 2 p.m. The young master had just finished a meeting with a VIP in Crane Tower. Floor 108. 108? The references, baby. Anyway. I love Sarah. I think that everyone playing this game loves Sarah. 2 p.m. He wasn't in school. I'll ask that you refrain from mocking the young master in my presence. He is a child. Anyone can see that. But you have no idea the pressures that have been placed on him. Whatever my client wants. As I was saying, it was just after 2 p.m. Me and the rest of my team escorted him to the elevators along our planned exit route. But a lift stopped suddenly in between floors 61 and 62. That was when I made a mistake. I had a bad feeling. But it best to get Makoto to the ground floor ASAP. So I forced the elevator open, crawled out, and pulled him out after me. But just as he got out, the elevator started up again, separating us from the rest of the guard. It was a trap. 50-51. Staying wasn't safe either. If they could stop the elevator, it's not a stretch to think they could drop it too. Damn, white streak reached. Only 105 to go. Let's go! Thank you for the white streak, Lucifer. He just lost the coin flip when he decided to exit. Yes, Sarah. It was a trap. Floors 60 through 70 were ongoing heavy retrofitting. The other elevators weren't responding, comms were jammed. I reviewed the entire building's blueprints beforehand. Not very useful information, obviously, but for a floor undergoing renovation. But I knew there was a construction elevator we could get into, on the other side of the tower. I had to act fast. There was no time to doubt myself, and I did something unforgivable. He left a kid? I picked him over my shoulder. Oh, well that sounds like fun. Oz, forgive me. Everything the young master does for the sake of his name's dignity, and kids are tougher than you think. I think he'll get over it. So you escorted him to the service elevator. I take it that's when things Yes, I'm sorry, but I only remember a few vague details about what happened next. But I'll tell you what little I can. After I activated the lift, two assailants emerged from under a topped doorway at my 7 o'clock. One tall, one thin. Yeah. Tall was around 190 centimeters in his weight. No, not Miller. Thanks. And I say 100 kilograms with the mods. Finn was maybe 175, but slashed. Modded as well, but what I saw looked stripped down, so he couldn't have been heavier than 70 kilo. He had needle guns, slow to fire and slow to take effect. A memorable choice. Tall one shot first, jerked his arm when he pulled the trigger. Bad habit usually favored by street slingers punks who are used to compensating for the kickback of jailbroken zippers. What is this, Nakatomi Plaza? Maybe. It looks like a little bit of a reference. He might as well be aiming at the ceiling. Finn lines up his shot properly. Laser sight dialed on in on the young master's left trapezoid. I shift into a horse rider stance and deflect the needle with my weapon. The lift doors open, and just behind me, another shooter steps forward at my 3 o'clock. You know. Or so I thought, but all they had was a laser pointer. Literally a cheap trick. But it worked. I hear a click from my 8 o'clock, turn my neck, and feel a weight punch into my deltoid. A dullish kind of pain for an instant. I realize I'm already going numb. And that's when I squeeze. Squeeze? He's talking about his mods. That's how I've always described it. Others say they flex or pull or hold. I squeeze. Akita Type 2 External Thoracic Booster. Some burst strength and pain-killing capabilities, but in short, it's a reflex enhancer. Make 1 second feel like 15, in hindsight. And makes it feel like you ran a marathon during those 15 seconds once the kickback gets to you. But I digress. I moved. Got Makoto into the elevator and wrenched the doors shut myself. Taking 3 more needles to the back in the process. I remember saliva pooling on my lip and then cold concrete scratching in my cheek. Alright, Sosuke. You were guarding Makoto. These men laid a trap, targeted him with tranks, failed. Then they take you instead? Yes, to my great shame. You were outnumbered and ambushed, but you still managed to protect Makoto. What's there to be ashamed of? That I didn't see coming. You saying this has happened before? Dozens of attempts in the past year. Some headed off in the early stages, some sidestepped entirely, and some stopped with force. I knew the tactics and I knew our vulnerabilities. Yet still I failed. Sosuke, that is not incorrect. Adonai. Am I wrong? Shouldn't the bodyguard let at least 1 shot off before being taken down? Shot? What do you mean shot? You were not carrying a firearm? No, no one on the team had guns. Yikes. How is that? None of us on the security team had firearms with us. But you're a gangster. I'm head of personal security for the Ikaria Financial Group. Walking onto an Islet Group's property armed to the teeth insults their hospitality and makes the house look insecure, or worse, impotent. And I'm not a security expert, but I do think there's some gray area between armed to the teeth and empty-handed. I mean, didn't you just say you deflected their attack? I was not defenseless just because I wasn't carrying a gun. Oh, I had my sword. So lame. So cool! Sarah, no! You walk around town with, what, a samurai sword? You just assume that it's a katana. Is it? Yes. It is a signifier of my position within the house, and shows that I'm acting as a representative of it. Is it ceremonial then? No, it is quite sharp. I can attest to that. Though it's probably in terrible condition by now, seeing how this city's policemen handled everything else they touch. Speaking of which, perhaps we should move on to the night's main events. They tried for Makoto, got you instead, and took you to the lower wards. Why? I've been wondering that myself. Aren't you essentially worthless? Girl, a little bit of tact. Come on. Sarah, baby. Don't do this to him. Don't do this to him. Doesn't deserve it. As a hostage, she means. I know that. Thinking back, I was surprised at myself to wake up at all, let alone in captivity. They seemed to have questions they wanted to ask me. What do you remember? Whatever they used on me, I can remember some things, but how much of it was real, what order it happened in, it's all. Just say whatever comes to mind. It can be anything. Sights, smells, voices. There are no wrong answers. I was bound, my wrists bound above my head, tied to something that smelled like iron and rattled like old iron. Tiles beneath my feet, some kind of bathroom or decontamination area. Good guess. They asked me questions. I said things loosely, like being drunk for the first time again. Wait, was this the guy tied up? Yes! 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 Exactly. He was in the gangster's hideout. But I'm confident that other than vulgarities, it was all incoherent. Because there were chokes, the taste of blood. I must have bit my tongue during the spasms. And there were beatings, of course. I wouldn't have guessed. Adonai, do you need corrective lenses? Sarcasm is just how I grieve a lost opportunity, Sir. Lost opportunity? Yeah, it's a damn shame. From what I can see of it, a pretty face like yours would go a long way with the jury if it wasn't pulverized. Ridiculous. Is he blushing? Oh, he's a cutie pie. I agree about his face, Adonai, but I don't believe it is his only strong feature. Let us move on. Really? Well, in that case, how did your captivity end? Do you recall escaping? I was blindfolded the entire time, but my ears weren't boxed so bad. There was a door that squeaked and whined. I always knew when someone was coming or going. One voice asked questions mostly. It was light. Another voice grunted when he hit me. Heavy. Other voices came and went, and then eventually, there was talk. Through the door I heard they were all talking to someone else. A new voice? Was it high-pitched or low? Loud or soft? It doesn't matter. What's important is that it belonged to someone new. Someone besides you, and the dead who was there last night. Did you make out any part of their conversation? No, not a word. Phew! But there was a loud noise. Gunshots, followed by shouting and ugly sounds. And then, a hollow pain in my skull as I lost consciousness again. When I next came to, I had something in my hand. In my hands. Something sharp. I didn't even think to ask what it was or where it came from. I just started working at the bitings. Rushed and clumsy, poked myself in the process. But I cut them loose, then took the gag out. The blindfold was so tight I cut it rather than try and... the damn thing must have been acting as a bandage because when I took it off, between the light and the pain, I thought that my head had split open. It took me a long time to stand up. Felt like I could just lie on that cold, disgusting floor forever if I just... But something was poking me. Something tugged into my waistband. The gun. A gun. Imagine my surprise. Checked the safety of the chamber reflexively, but only saw 2 spent slug. I was too tired to be confused, so I just walked out that squeaky door and into red. Just red. And then I was blinking at an ivy, handcuffed to a stretcher in an ambulance, some cod reading me my rights, saying that they killed 5 people. No, wait, some judge or official said that later. When I woke up in the ambulance, all they say was that I was a cop killer. Omitting some strong language. I don't understand. You were held captive, interrogated, tortured. But then you woke up armed and were able to escape? The cops didn't ask me questions, and I wouldn't have answered if they had. It's been nearly a full day, and I'm just now saying it out loud for the first time. It truly sounds absurd. I mean, at least the guy does understand to not talk to anyone except your lawyer. This is your world, Sosuke, not mine. Do you have any theories on what happened? Only two possibilities come to mind. In the first scenario, one or more of my captors wanted to kill me but needed an excuse to do so. So they let me escape. They give me a knife and an unloaded gun, then wait for me to stumble out so they can mist me and be done with it. But the plan doesn't work. Somehow I limp out of that room and shot, cut, stab, kill them all. That would be quite a feat given the condition that you say you were in. Yeah. Yes, a tale for the ages. It's not possible. Why isn't it possible? Even if he had a motive and they were stupid enough to give him the opportunity, he was still lacking. He had a knife, he had a gun, but he didn't have bullets. In a brief I read, 2 of the pods were shot to death. I'm sure you're highly qualified, Sosuke, but I doubt you can fire a gun without bullets. No, I cannot. As I said, the gun I woke up with had already fired both his shots. So if we tell the police that the gun wasn't loaded, would that clear Sosuke's name for 2 of the murders? Reddit knows the #1 rule about cops, shut the fuck up. Yeah, exactly. There's no proof the gun was already empty by the time he got his hands on it. She's right. That gun was some kind of jailbroken mag rail. The only residue it'll leave behind is static. As long as my prints are on it, that's all the evidence they need to claim I fired it. How about that second possibility then? The second possibility is that someone walked into that building, killed my captors, and then tried to frame me for it. That sounds like lunacy. We've already eliminated the other possibility, insane trop's impossible. Like it or not, this bad Samaritan theory is our best shot. Because it's literally what happened! We already know this happened. We need to basically kind of have to understand how did the cop get killed now. Because that's the point of Morgan doesn't get caught, but also Sosuke gets out free. Who killed the cop? And had, for some reason, Sosuke very close so that they could frame him on the job. What is it? I'm just surprised you believe me. You haven't even asked if I did it. I never ask. It helps that I can usually tell. A wise policy for the world you're setting foot into. As if it makes any difference here. Even I don't know if I'm guilty. You were drugged and beaten. You still injured, even now. And we just reasoned that you couldn't have killed your captors without help. What makes you think you might still be guilty? Because I've killed before. A pale spark flickers at the back of my mind. Morgan fucking around knows she's about to find out. Episode 0 was that. Episode 2 is that now. We're back, baby. My index finger rises slightly. My lips part. Was I expecting this? Stepping into the criminal underworld. Looking forward to it? A rare opportunity to speak frankly with someone else who's... You mean... Yes. I was in the military. Also, even worse! Okay. I've taken lives. Many times. That doesn't make you a murderer. Soldiers are given... Sarah, no. Sarah, no. No. We need to teach the kid about how the army is bad. The kid doesn't know. I've killed people. Whether or not a superior asks me doesn't change that fact. Thankfully, he is saying the words. We're so bad. But soldiers... Are you a soldier, Sarah? No? So drop it. She's good at following orders. It can take years to acquire that skill. I imagine it comes too easy for androids. Yes, I suppose that's... Wait, that's an android?! Did you miss the glowing barcode? And ignore my self-introduction? Look, I'm tired. I thought those were highlights or something. Sarah is technically correct, but also, you can... I don't care. Refuse orders. Don't be an asshole. Don't go into the military. Did my hair catch your eye? You have discerning taste. You see, each strand is actually... Was there anything you wanted to say, Sosuke? I've taken lives before, and so I know how I feel afterwards. Finn. Now, how do you feel right now? Right now, I feel What is it? Do you remember something? Yes. After I stepped out of the door, I said I saw red. But I do remember one other sensation. I remember the feeling of gripping my sword. That brief you read, it listed all the charges, all the causes of death. The fifth man, the god they say I killed. How did he die? Well, we're about to check that right now. Stabbed through the back with a sword, skewered like a piece of goddamn meat! And you've got the balls to ask us to carry him to a hospital? I don't think that's quite how I phrased the request. I've been paying close attention. Would you like me to play back what you said? Not right now, Sparky. Reyes, she's just doing her job. It's not like she's asking, oh, save the lecture, gray hair. Gray? Come on, my hair isn't... It's graying, maybe. In case I haven't made it clear, I never liked you, Morgan. Aw, you're breaking my heart. I hadn't noticed, but I never took you for mob lawyer. Whatever my client's associations might be, he's a cop killer! Innocent until proven guilty isn't a phrase I coined myself, detective. It's actually somewhat important. Oh, don't worry about that. The proving won't take us long at all. You always take pride in rushing your investigations. We've all seen the same intake file by now, yes? My client was in bad shape when he was arrested, but his wounds were treated in medical transport. Yet somehow, in between arriving at the station and his booking, all his wounds were reopened, and some of them have multiplied. Tell me if you can, great detective. How will we ever solve the mystery of the reappearing fractured skull? Your client was being moved between floors. You struggled trying to escape. And then he fell down the stairs. Really? Was there a lawnmower waiting at the bottom? Look, with all adults here. So let us just... Sarah, I'm so sorry. So let's just say it. Your coworkers kicked the shit out of him. Well, what do you want me to do about it? I want you to uphold the law. Fun got a data blast? Oh yeah, sorry. Frames exploded just for a sec. But you're fine. Everything's corrected now. Don't worry, recording on YouTube will be fine. For some reason, I thought you cared about that. A police badge isn't a time machine. By the time we took custody, he was already... She's right, Tiger. What's done is done. You know, you've got a snowball's chance in hell of proving your client was assaulted while in police custody, and you'll never get charges brought against the officers who did it. So try asking for something doable. I'm good giving away all my best tricks. The door-in-the-face tactic is already fragile. I want him to see a doctor. You've got to be shitting me. That's a blood KW in there with military-grade mods. He's not living this building. But we could have a doctor brought here. And give him the chance to take a hostage? He is not the 99-man, Reyes. He can't break his cuffs. Don't say 99-man. You don't know what it means. You're too old. I mean, Foot's got an info file, you nerd. Also, yes. The 99-man, or a 99-man, refers to a theoretical state of the being in which a human is to replace as much of their body with cybernetic equivalents as possible, thereby becoming someone who is 99% machine and yet technically still a human. The term first appeared in the speculative fiction short story Carved Out of Marble by M.P. Smith, but it rose to prominence after the 2072 Paralympics when middleweight track and field gold medalist Ayat Safran quoted the story as inspiration after breaking the world record at the time for the 800 meters. Since then, the phrase has been popularized as both a meme and a thought experiment, opening up discussions about transhumanism in sports, the business world, education, and beyond. Some social media influencers, athletes, or tech evangelists have taken the 99-man as a challenge, modding themselves as much as possible with the explicit goal of approaching what they see as the current limit for transhumanism. Officially, the individual who has the greatest percentage of their body mass replaced with artificial analogs is an anonymous male adult living in the Eastern Hemisphere who was suffering from a rare and terminal form of bone cancer before signing up for an experimental surgery offered through Howard's Industry Theseus Initiative. Haha, very funny. How officially describes the patient as currently living a normal and productive life, though Theseus has never produced any consumer market product as not. I know that they're talking about the experiment, but it's very funny that Theseus never produced any consumer market products in his fucking ancient Greek life. And has not published any additional research paper in the last 2 years, leading to some question whether the results are at all replicable. Good question. Also, we got this. Sosuke Ikaria was apprehended at the scene of the crime and placed in a medical transport. Injuries noted at the time: blood from various sources across the interior front of the body. Numerous bones in the left hand broken as if from impacting a hard surface. Slight laceration found on the left hand. Internal bleeding throughout the torso and skull. Ooh, that's not good for the skull. Bruising and rope burns on both wrists as if bound. Numerous bruises on the interior front side of the body, and others bloods across the tops of feet and bent legs. The largest one found at the crown of the skull, back of the head, near the top. Theseus initiative. No, I know, that's what it referred to, Gil. Don't worry. At time of booking, numerous additional injuries were noted, including bruised left eye, busted lip, broken nose, boxed left ear, blunt trauma to interior front side of head. When or where these additional injuries were sustained is not noted. Then I wonder why. Anyway, hi London. Hi Reyes. I'm glad you're back. How about a medic who can't be taken hostage? Medical ad? Sure, great, let's see if we can negotiate his premium lower while we're at it. Is that a refusal, Detective Reyes? Oh, I didn't say no, did I? Great. He also needs a protective detail. Lady, I swear to... Counselor? Protective details are comprised of off-duty cops. I don't think they'll have the outcome you're looking for. No. But if my client is left unattended one more night, he's likely to be declared unfit to stand trial when he shows up to court with his head caved in. An outcome I genuinely believe you're not looking for either. I'm saying it because of course that's what they called it. Yeah. Yeah, of course it's called Theseus. Me when I replace every part of the boat. Good, keep him here. What, in the interrogation room? Counseling quarter. Table can't be moved, but if you slide the chairs out of the way, the floor's not actually that hard. How do you even know that? Given what other lodgings he's had in the last 24 hours, I don't think your client will mind. So if Detective Reyes and Detective London take shifts keeping watch. Now we're keeping watch? It is the homicide department's counseling quarter. You think I give a shit to what happens to that son of a bitch? You think I wouldn't walk in there myself and... You wouldn't. What? It's not in your nature. What the hell is that supposed to mean? You either have it or you don't. Trust me, if I had the chance to take a swing at that son of a bitch... Yeah, you already called him that. A piece of shit, a bastard, a killer. But unlike every other cop I walked past to get in here, you've yet to call it Sosuke an animal. So what? What the hell does that matter? It's the only thing that matters. I've got the outsider's perspective, so I know. The average human can do anything to anyone, so long as they're not a person. Whatever, think what you want, creep. Well, so long as that's your only request, we should be able to. I need to get into the crime scene as soon as possible. You've got to be... I love this track, but also it's very loud every time. What, like tonight? She is not rushing more than anyone else, Sunshine. Everyone in up in the line has been raring to go on this, now that Sosuke's actually got a lawyer. Well, maybe that if that son of a bitch hadn't climbed up all day, we wouldn't... She said it again? Whatever, pick then, Counselor. You can bully us into guard duty and escort duty, but we can't do both. I need both. You'll have to split up. But I can help with that. Order. Sarah can? I can? Of course you can. You can go treat Sosuke. I don't know, I'm not trained in... Oh, I love this bit. She's pretending she doesn't remember being registered as my medical ad. Yes, I would never forget that unforgettable experience. I've never done first aid before. Well, watch a tutorial first. Use lots of sanitizer. Sarah, I would suggest going to Trauma Center Second Opinion SAS speedrun.com page. Lots of people who can teach you how to be very good at taking care of a patient. If they ask you about like Devtera or anything like that, you know it. Just hand her some bandages and she'll get Sosuke looking good as new in no time. Then you can plop her in front of the door and even 20 crude cops working together couldn't get her to budge. That much is certainly accurate. I have a strong core, so if I focus and lower my center of gravity... Thanks for the sales pitch, but it doesn't mean shit. The crime scene is in the lower wards. If you think after what happened last night that any cop with a pulse would go down there without their partner... It's okay, sunshine. Bad taping. Bad taping this. Nice bad taping. I'll take her down there. Is everyone else in here huffing Nirvana? London, it's in Bluebud territory. Bluebud territory outskirts, really? They lost the whole pod. They'll be swarming the place. You can't go down there without backup. Backup, huh? You know Mac? For contraband? Skinny guy? Kind of a perv? Yeah, he's skinny. Look, he's got crime scene analysis sweeps going over that place with a fine comb right about now. Runs, probes, the works. They'll have eyes on us before we get within 5 minutes of the place. Whatever. Just keep in contact for once. I hope you're being generously compensated, Eve. Selling your soul to the mob. It'd be a shame if you didn't at least get a good price. Hey, you coming, blinkers? Gotta find where they stole all the medkits in this dusty old piece of... Go on. I'll be right behind you, detective. Sorry about that. She's still new to all this, really. Not all like me. She does seem to be on edge, more so than usual. It's her first time losing a fellow officer. I think she's taking it pretty hard. Maybe even personally? Did they know each other? Right. You get her up, you think. I go bring us a ride. Great. Thanks for all the help, detective. You're a lifesaver. But this is one occasion where I wouldn't have had any trouble finding the place. Really didn't take you that long to patch him up, huh? Now we just wait here all night. Look like Lauren's pretty slow. You're not doing anything else, detective. Would you be interested in answering some questions? Is this how she actually got a recording at the end of episode 1? Is this how it happened? Or episode 0? Once more into the depths. When I went down to the lower walls last night, I knew what I wanted to find, but I wasn't sure where to look. Now I know where to look, but I have multiple priorities to consider. It'd be nice if I can prove Sosuke's innocence. It won't be easy given that they think he killed a cop. Shut the fuck up, Raze, no one likes you. I mean, I like bullying her, but I don't think it's the mood. But it kept me on the Ikaria's good side. That'd be nice. But what is essential is that I figure out what the hell happened after I left. And whether anyone found any trace that I was ever there. Everything else is secondary. Sorry, guess I should have asked before I decided we should be sharing a cab. I don't mind. But I am surprised. Did budget cuts take away your shiny patrol car? Patrol cars are shared, Counselor. Any cop can step into any other cop's car, sync their credentials, and drive. Oh my god, Sarah, you legend? Yeah, she just fucking get in. Convenient. Shame you can't personalize. Yeah, no more dice in the mirror. Is that why we're in a cab then? Personal taste? Police cars are full of bugs, but you might appreciate the privacy. Auto cabs are full of bugs too. True, but I have ways around them. Ah, there. I didn't know that. Yeah, plenty. It can be easy as flashing a police badge. Something you wanted to discuss in private, Detective? I was asked to get in contact with you and pass along a message. A secret admirer? It's uninterested parties, and all that. You know how it is. I'm not sure I do. Does this have something to do with my client's business affiliations? There would be a lot more blustering if I were to repeat it verbatim, so I'll paraphrase. Focus on getting the best outcome for a client. More of a reminder of what my job description is than a warning. And don't broaden the scope of your investigation any more than strictly necessary. Well, I always appreciate kind words of advice. But Detective London, that almost makes it sound like you're on the take. That's the city, Tiger. If you don't take a little, they'll bury you. Alive if need be. Oh, they will. Oh, conspiratorial. It's not a joke, Morgan. Do they threaten your wife with Tommy guns if you don't comply? It's gotten more sophisticated than that. Well, maybe sophisticated isn't the right word. Complicated might be more accurate, or you could just call it a quagmire. Or even a shitstorm. You can't get along to go along. Even all the cops won't trust you. You'll end up shot in the back, friendly fire. A tragic newspaper clipping. You're exaggerating. You're telling me the entire police force is corrupt. Corruption would be one thing. You could in theory root it out. Above and below the canopy, it's all intertwined. Every tree stabilizing every other tree. What do they call that? Not parasitism. Commensalism. Yeah. There you go. The state pays criminal informants to rat on their peers and lets them keep their positions in exchange. Orcas by judges and politicians to keep their men out of prison. Status quo. Balancing act. A cycle. Stable as any gyroscope. Forgive me if I find that hard to believe. Crime is at an all-time low. That's not a contradiction. People hate crime. But what gets people killed is chaos. And the opposite of organized crime is... So everyone's playing nice with each other. Even Detective Reyes. She's... What about the man they think my client killed? Did he play nice? He was a special case. You got the brief. You recognize his last name? It's a big city. I don't put too much stock into last names. You'll need to break that habit if you continue to work in the underworld. This case said something similar. Tariq Chopin, only son of Miguel and Dominic Chopin. The power couple? Why would the son of two of our city's most prominent council members be working as a police officer? You want the full story? Always. Well, who was this Chopin, really? An idealist? Wrong line of work, then. You're only half right. When he entered the academy, everyone assumed he was a political move, first step in his career to becoming a senator or whatever. Maybe it was, but anyone who met the guy could tell you he would have made a lousy politician. You're saying he was honest? Wouldn't tell a lie if his life depended on it. Guy couldn't do small talk, much less make friends. Talking about cleaning up the city, cleaning up the police, cleaning up everything. If he was so unpopular, why was he kept on? No one on the force wanted to risk insulting his parents by firing him. Just got passed around from department to department, detail to detail. He did a lot of community outreach. Community outreach? What, like bake sales? Like giving talks at schools about saying no to drugs until you turn 21. So he was basically the DARE program's poster boy. Is what I'm getting from here. Oof, must really love this job to put up with that. Or he just wanted to prove a point that bad. Don't you try to save lower wards patrols for the more seasoned, better armed officers? We do, yeah. How'd you know that? By going to the lower wards and looking at the cops you send there, of course. I read about it in Watch magazine last month. Oh. If Chopin was the son of such powerful men, why'd he end up in the lower wards last night? That... I don't know. You don't know? By all accounts, he and his partner should have been at least 2 patrols removed from that area. Must have been following up some other lead. His partner? Who's that? The hero who finally arrested the Hound of Icaria. That's who. I'll have to send him a congratulatory fruit basket. Yugi Rogers. Pretty bare bones record, but maybe they'll just add it to his legend. What legend? Taking your client alive. Whacked him on the head with his sidearm. Knocked him out cold. 21, hey, I think I might know where the game is set. Yeah, I think so as well. Guess it is a small miracle that Sosuke wasn't just shot dead if they thought he killed a cop. Maybe, but it wasn't pure luck. Only things that did stick out to me in Roger's record was his shooting score. 41. Out of 100. You need 40 to pass. I think someone took pity on him when tallying up his score. So he only whacked Sosuke on the head because he was too bad of a shot to avenge his partner. At least Rogers knows his weakness. I keep hearing that name, the Hound of Icaria. I cringe every time. Not that one actually calls him that, right? Sorry, but I've definitely heard that name circulating around organized crime before. Must be one hell of a bodyguard to have earned that nickname for it. Oh yeah, by the way, Ellie, I forgot to show you because you weren't there at the time, but I did this during the stream. No, I am not sorry. He's a bodyguard? Then yeah, must be pretty good. Of course, hound dogs are known for other things besides guarding. Sorry, that was crude. Oh, don't be sorry. I don't even get enough of the joke to be offended. Okay, that all makes from some interesting food for thought. But Detective London, you're working for the Blue Bloods. I never said I work for the Blue Bloods. It's more of a gig worker type thing, Tiger. I'm friends with everybody. If you are working for the mob in general, then how do I know you're even taking me to the right place and not to? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I may pass a message along here and there, but I'm not... Damn. Hell, no one else is either. Whatever you're imagining, it's not that exciting, I promise. Not that exciting. Sounds about right. Is it like this in every city? Handshakes and gentlemen's agreements. Gentlemen's agreements behind closed doors. You disillusioned? The state has a great deal of power, Detective London. It makes countless rules. And I'm a big girl. I know that those rules don't apply to people equally. And I understand the value of criminal informants and the possible conflicts of interest that arise in trying to keep them around. What I don't get is why the state has all this strength, and it won't use it to just wipe the underworld off the map. That's pretty cold logic. I'd expect my state to be far more colder. Hey, you ever heard this one? Politician, a CEO, and a mob boss are sitting at a round table with a gun in the middle. Who are you betting on? I don't think that anyone, there's gonna be any coins out of this one. But to be honest here, I would say CEO. Also, here's Chopin. Posthumous, aww. Bachelor of Science in Applied Philosophy. Dude, and you ended up in the freaking police? I would go CEO. A CEO looks at a loaded gun and sees the bullets in the clip as inventory that needs moving. Plus they're used to taking a job and setting up their golden parachute before anything else. I doubt they'd walk into that room without first planning how they're getting out of it. Fair enough. CEOs only get the job in the first place by convincing their board they can navigate high stakes. But it's a trick question, of course. Rock, paper, scissors has no trump card. The politician can bring the heavy harm of the law down onto the mob boss if he doesn't shoot the CEO for him. The mob boss can have the CEO's family killed if he doesn't blow away the politician first. And the CEO can turbocharge the campaign of whomever the politician's opponents is if he refuses to miss the mob boss. Yeah, seems like you could make the argument to go into the other... Blah, blah, blah. What's difficult? E-water. Yeah, seems like you could make the argument to go in the other direction too. You could. So the point the riddle's meant to teach is this. Whoever convinces someone else to pull the trigger comes out on top. Funny. So in the parable you set up, the gun at the table, that's the police? A blameless tool with no will of its own? Yeah. Though it was older men than I who set it up. Didn't realize this country's police was so powerless. However do you manage? We used to have a partner that helped us out. A tiebreaker. Because all three of those powerful men would be screwed if a journalist told the world they were meeting together. I've got good news for you, detective. Journalists still exist. I could introduce you to one. You could even take a photograph. Oh, I know they're not extinct. People will always write. It's just that no one wants to pay them to. Sorry, didn't mean to talk so much. Maybe it's nerves, coming back down here. Whatever happened to the last time he visited? Something up? Didn't you put to sleep, did I? Big popcorn moment. No, actually, your free-seat table reminded me of an even older thought experiment. If God is omnipotent, why does he allow the existence of the devil? Even I know this one. Preserve free will or whatever, right? Yeah, that's the answer most people give. But now I'm wondering if it isn't a rock, paper, scissors deadlock like the one you just described. God lets the devil be so he'll terrify men, and men will always need God's warm protection. And God needs men's faith, which can't be compelled. Of course, most people would also say that God's long dead in the 21st century, but we're still around. That leaves the devil in an awfully strong position, doesn't it? You always picture free men in that room, don't you? Huh? Yes, I guess I do. Sorry. Do 55 feminist rosaries for your penance. They said the thing! Ah. 6:01 p.m., August 14th, 2086. Oh, what? Detective London. We're definitely not alone down here. But when you reassured your partner that we have company, I didn't think you were including Blue Bloods. Ah, you know, I knew I'd forgotten to mention. What? When then she's a liar, babe. Because I never said that. No, I never said that. Oh, come on, babe. That's what she's like. She lies for fun. Because that's what I call you, babe. It's a pet name. You like it. No, don't hang up. Don't hang up, baby. Don't hang up. Of course I do. We gotta get to work, hon. I'll have to call you back, babe. Something just came up. London? What is this? London, who is this? Councillor Morgan. This is Adelaide Hahn. She's, well... she's a blue blood. Hey, I'm a perfectly legitimate carrier woman. You're speaking to your sinus security site manager. If you need anything, miss, please don't hesitate to reach out. Ooh, we got a card. Oh, with a freaking call! Do you think she wants Morgan as like Seki time? Also, I want to see the number. 4872583. Okay, cool. A real business card? It even has a watermark. I'm not familiar with Sinus. We're a private security and investigating firm. We provide bounces, armed escorts, we catch cheating partners, find runaway debtors, run paternity tests, that kind of stuff. Sorry, but have we met somewhere? No, it can't be. I'd never forget a beauty like you. She's the Hound's lawyer, Han. Seriously, she works for those copperhead scumbags. We're mortal enemies. That sucks. Not alive then, huh? But still play nice if you will. Sinus Security is a trusted partner in your business ventures, offering a suite of private security services, including but not limited to bodyguards, convoys, bouncers, private investigators, paternity tests, family history research, and shipping insurance. Answer a few questions about your needs in our portal below, and we'll get you set up with the peace of mind you've been searching for. Your browser may prompt you with a security pop-up when interacting with some of the features on our site. You can safely disregard these messages as they are related to a legal matter that has already been settled out of court. We apologize for the disruption in your site experience. Ready to get started? Something's been happening. Okay. There is no active 487 area code in the USA. Now I know. Adelaide Han. April 16th, height 180 centimeter, 83 centimeters, weight 75 kilograms, blood type O-. Occupation site manager, Sinus Security, likes new furniture, silk cloth, dimples, dislikes clingy types, jealous types, needles, plays pickup games, avoids laundry day, least favorite chore, throwing out dead flowers. I wonder why you would have to do that, girl. Anyway. Right. So you're private security and you're currently securing this crime scene. Yeah, what's with the tone? What you're hearing is genuine bewilderment. London, why are the police letting blue bloods contaminate the crime scene where a cop died? Come on, we don't have cooties. This wasn't the location where a cop died. We'd have already turned full control over to them. What? The police contract the security around crime scenes to private companies all the time. And around here, the private company best suited for the job happened to be Sinus. Letting them conduct their own side investigation is a small concession to keep the peace. A small concession? They're probably in there destroying evidence as we speak. We have the arcs to preserve the crime scene. They could burn the building down and we'd still have a pristine copy. Alan Bridges is trying to save face. The police couldn't keep this crime scene off limits without our help and he knows it. Gremlins would be smashing the shiny cameras and popping their expensive tires around the clock if we weren't here. Leatherwatts kids take out drones by tossing shoes at them for fun. Oh, fans of the attack on George W. Bush? That one didn't take even, like, 1 second for me to think about. I hate myself sometimes. Is that why you see shoes hanging off wires? No, I don't know what that happens. It's just a thing teens have always done for fun. Mystery solved? Fine, maybe the cops and blue bloods are all consummate professionals would never even bicker. But what kind of impartiality can I expect coming here to defend a Nicaria? Well, you might get some ugly looks from those with less chivalry, but no one's gonna get in your way. 487 XXX numbers are penciled in for London, Ontario, but none so far have been issued. Okay. Well to know. We know how defense attorneys operate. We know damn well how you usually win. No one's gonna do anything that'll let you worm out from the hound out of his life sentence on a technicality. You're sure you wouldn't prefer that, to have him back on the street so you can take another shot at him? Oh, it's a flattery. That's how you flirt? What does that mean? You think we'd ever manage to gun down the hound of Nicaria on the street? Shank him in a holding cell? Blue Bloods took him alive just fine the other day, didn't they? Yeah, and look what happened to them afterwards. That was a coincidence, actually. So you won't tamper with a crime scene just because you wanted to make sure the state lobotomizes Sosuke for quintuple homicide. Yeah! I mean, we also literally get paid good money to do these kinds of jobs, so we have a reputation to maintain. Rate us 5 stars when you're done looking around, okay? I'll be sure to leave a glowing review. So this is the main entrance. Front door looks about as heavy as I can remember. But it's unlocked. What's that? How was this door found? Chopin and Rogers were the first officers on the scene, responding to gunfire. Someone heard that? Good thing I cleaned up fast. Also, Windsor, Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge, others in Southwest Ontario. Okay. Check the area, then enter through the front door. The door was definitely locked when I arrived. But I didn't lock it behind me when I left. I didn't have any keys. Admiring our handiwork? This is a sinus installation. Who else would Blue Bloods trust to secure Blue Blood buildings? How does it lock? You never used a key before? I want to know how the lock functions. Does it lock behind you automatically? That's a good question. You looking to buy? Because I could set up... It is a good question, Han. Why don't you answer it? Yeah, this model locks behind you by default. You need a key to get in if someone doesn't unlock it for you from the inside. A physical key? Physical keys can't be hacked or overridden by a police badge. Some people consider those useful features. Is that why the door is ajar? It looks like the lock's been destroyed. Was it found like this? Yeah, for as long as the Arcs has been up. It definitely wasn't locked when me and Reyes arrived, which was around 10:20 p.m. We already know what Arcs are. Emi Kimura. I mean, Emi Kimura would probably hack it in, but also, the lockpicking lawyer would also get in. Physical keys doesn't mean that you can't lockpick it. Hang on, you and Reyes, what were you... Were you the second officers on scene? That's right, we weren't far when 10999 went out at 10:15. 10999 is an emergency response code utilized in municipal systems around the nation. Most frequently to signify that one or more first responders' lives are in danger. Most police departments, the standard issue suite of biomonitors allow for this code to be sent out across emergency networks automatically when cardiac activity is disrupted or blood pressure changes rapidly. Due to the non-negligible chance that moderate exercise could be misinterpreted by biomonitors, leading to false alarms, some departments make it a policy to avoid enabling the automatic alert function. Okay. Good to know. Glad to know the incriminating evidence is, like, knowledge is in red. Long way from precinct 254, isn't it? We were in the area. Awkward. Also, no, I mean interest in physical locks in her apartment. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that makes... You want a tour then? Actually, I'd like to check out the alley first. You know, crime scene is on the 3rd floor, right? Yeah, but it has a window that opens to the alley, doesn't it? I just prefer to start from the bottom and work my way up sometimes. Sure, we can start there. Just be careful where you step if you like those boots at all. What I also think is that we're gonna actually save for today. Because ads are gonna start in a pretty good second, so I'm gonna snooze and we're gonna actually do our good nights and find someone to raid. So yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. We've been having a good time with Of the Devil. Hope you have enjoyed this longer foray into episode 2. We will be continuing next Friday for more Of the Devil. I hope you're excited. In the meantime, if you want to find out about episode 1 or episode 0, videos for that are on my YouTube channel. Also, the first episode of the first part of me going through episode 2 will be live tonight. It's not already live right now. So if you want to actually watch that part and then come back and watch the second part today, you know what to do. Go to the YouTube, as it's just there. I'm gonna put the link right in chat. Oh, thank you, Nightbot. Actually, Nightbot went faster than me. But yeah, very excited. Friday specials are always fun, and I'm really excited to see how Of the Devil is gonna go from this point. But in any case, thank you for watching, everyone. If you want to support the stream or on YouTube, you can follow the channel. You can subscribe to the channel on YouTube. If you want to give me financial support. Subscribing or watching ads is always welcome. We would welcome it very much. And outside of that, just thank you for being here. It's always lovely to see people come over and watch what I'm doing. I will mostly say that next week we're going to be doing more Yars Rising unless something pretty big comes in. We'll have to see. And yeah, Friday special, but also maybe on Monday if I find the energy to do it that Monday. And I will be maybe having a special stream where I do something very cool, talking about my RT in Japan run. We'll have to see if I wake up in time and everything. The other thing is that in a week and a half, I will be on Ystream. We will be doing Ystreams on Monday now, and the next Ystream is on the 26th. Hope you're excited for that one. I'm very happy to return to the Ystream. We're going to be doing some Yars Rising prep for Frame Fatales. That's going to be fun with my beautiful partner, Lucifer9783, who is in chat right now. Thank you, love. In any case, let's find someone to raid. Let's see who is here. Let's find someone who is following us. Oh wait, that I'm following. Words wrong. Let's see who is live right now. I think that tonight's energy is we're gonna raid Ari. Oh, Nixel actually went up. Cool. Give me a sec while I... Let's actually go find Nixel. Nixel Frost Shadow is doing some Pokemon Legends ZA. Yeah, let's actually go to Nixel because Nixel is a good friend of the channel. Stream has not started yet though. I hope they'll be live, like they'll be up pretty soon. Otherwise, Ari is probably a better choice. Especially like as ads are gonna be rolling in 2 minutes. It's not that I don't want to raid Nixel, it's that Nixel literally is not live, is not like fully out, fully streaming. Okay, no. I waited a little second and now they're up. Let's go. Again, if you want to send a beautiful message and say hi to Nixel, meow exclamation mark and any cat emote of your choice. I tend to prefer my Larry emotes. If you want some Larry emotes, you can spend some points or get subscribed to the channel. Here's a little sample of all of the ones we can do. But in any case, thank you for watching. We will see you next time. And say hi to Nixel. Bye-bye.